century, the first hotel in Croatia was erected exactly here. But why is that so? Because of the nobility, you know. This corner bay and Adriatic Sea in this northern part of Croatia, it's really famous about the mineral salt water. So if you have, for example, some healthy problems and some kind of issues, if you are a very rich man in 19th century, perhaps maybe from Vienna or from Budapest, you will come here to rest. You will come here to have a beautiful leisure and vacation. Especially for some of those group of people who had lung diseases, you know, because the climate and the flora and the fauna, it's really beautiful and unique here. Anyway, in that era, Opatija, which is the name of the city, it's a really small, actually fishing place, you know. There were a lot of, I would like to say, ordinary people here. They were swimming, they were fishing, they were cultivated some fruit, vegetables, and it wasn't looking like this, you know. Nowadays we have, for example, a lot of Hungarian style of architecture with some villas, and also we have some Habsburg era villas from Vienna. So the influence in this city and in the Croatia at all is, I would like to say, multicultural. Although probably you've tasted some good traditional food, good traditional wine and liqueurs also, which is so typical for this area. I would like to say that this traditional food is the traditional food which is from the ordinary people, because they cultivated land, fertile land, and they were good at making a good wine, you know, and a good, I would like to say, vegetables. For example, in Istria, I will talk a little bit more later on as we pass, the truffle hunting. The truffles are traditional example of cuisine in Istria. So our itinerary for today is UNESCO. It's really a beautiful itinerary because you're about to see one of the highly preserved and highly recommended place for eclectic styles in Christianity. It's really not so typical, you know, and when we get to Porec and we see everything which is in that complex of Eufrasiana, we call it Eufrasiana, but it's actually also very well known as a cathedral of Assumption of the Virgin Mary. And everything is in a woman cult of Saint Mary, because she is an active person in this kind of art. We are going to see and talk about a little bit more when we get there. When we get to the Porec, we will have enough time to see the best parts of the town. But I have to tell you, all the towns today, which are you, of course, now in Opatija also, they're not so big, you know. You're probably from a bigger country, because Croatia is not a big country at all. We have approximately 3.5 million people, so the urbanization and the cities are, you know, smaller ones. For example, this city has 10,000 inhabitants, but it's really very good in tourism at the summer. So probably this month of September, this is also a beautiful panoramic view of the Corner Bay as we are passing through on your right side. And Porec and Rivinj also. Porec has approximately 18,000 people, and Rivinj 15 to still 16,000 people. So they're so typical and unique small Croatian towns, but very well known by the tourists who wants to visit Croatia at all. So this is, you will see, the hot spot for some surfers. We have actually have here yacht clubs and surfers who came here all the way from Slovenia, which is our country. We are pretty close. We have a border with Slovenia, and of course with Italy, which is also very close. By car you probably have till Trieste, the port of Italy, 15 minutes. So it's really close. And that is why we have a lot of Italian minority here. And probably if you stay for a little bit longer here on the Carnival, you will see, you will hear, Sept Italian spoken languages from families who brought their tradition in Croatia, because during the past, actually, and Istria and Rijeka and Opatija was under Italy. So we have a lot of Italian influence. So in culture, heritage, in I would like to say also in tradition. So it's really not so difficult. In Istria, for example, you will see bilingual status of the town of Rivinj and Porec because of the Italian minority. You will see the sign of the name of the city, Porec, which is a Croatian language, and above is Italian language, which means Porec, in Italian Parenzo, and Rivinj, in Italian Rivinj. So it's not so different, you know, from those Italian ones. The roots are pretty much similar, although the Croatian language belongs to some Slavonic type, South Slavonic type of languages, which is, you know, during the past it had some difficulties and some differences from the origins. So anyway, now we're going to see the road and the tunnel and the mount, which is nature park in Croatia. I will give you 1 or 3 or 5 minutes please, and then I will continue to speak, because I have to sit down, you know. The policeman won't, you know, be kind to me if although I want to see your faces, because sometimes the faces don't lie, and they tell me, you know, politely when I have to be, you know, quiet.
Zato si ti tak velika stojiš, sjediš. Samo što je rizično za tebe po ovim cestama, da slučajno moram zakočiti, biš pala se odmjeri.
Ja sam ti se naučila, ti se držim, ja ti imam tipke koje sam naučila. Tako da sam ti spremila za sve umjerane. Small town, which is a port town. the bigger city, which is very well known as an important harbor in Croatia in 19th century, and obviously from the Roman era also, it is Rijeka. It's not so big, but if we compare that to Opatija, it is big enough. It has approximately 100,000 inhabitants. So the bigger town near Opatija is Rijeka, very well known as an industrial city, and very well known as a city with a lot of influence of obviously Hungarian scientists and British scientists actually who invented torpedo in that small city. So the most important things for you to know that this part of the Warner Bay was actually in the past for 500 years a mixture of Italian emperors and Austrian emperors. For Italy it was very good to control this part of the land for the trade, and for Habsburgs also for the trade. There was no connection. Actually, this was the Austrian littoral, and this was the Austrian exit to the sea, because Austria didn't have the sea. And then when they arranged that with some Croatian government, I am speaking about period from the late 16th century till the end of the World War I, so a really long period. It was a period of the Habsburg era in this part of Croatia. So, as you can see, huge city, but the history period is it's some kind of, you know, good community. It has good connections with the partially territorial government in the inner part of Istria, and of course, Pazin is very well known in Croatia for education and spreading the old traditional way of studying in Istria. So I was telling you about the bilingual towns, and I was telling you about Italian minority of languages. Just to let you know that Croats, when they came here in Middle Ages, they came here actually in the 7th century AD, after the fall of Western Roman Empire, and they settled here, but they didn't have, you know, similar cultural like the Romans did. They had their own language, they had their own religion, but they didn't use letters. They weren't the people of the book. They didn't know how to assimilate with the rest of the groups of people on this part of Europe. So anyway, you know, with the Roman empires and later on the Middle Ages, the kings, they had to spread Christianity here, so they invented one similar letter so that Slavonic people could understand. It is called glagolitic script or glagolitic letter. I will show you. I have one picture. Probably on your coins you will see some signs, and that is the oldest Croatian traditional letter. We call it glagolitic letter, or that what you have on your coins are glagolitic script. Anyway, it's really you know, unusual, but if you know the history of this whole Europe from the Middle Ages till now, you will see that it's the same situation in any kind of land. For example, in Croatia, what we have a different kind of language. First of all, when the Romans came here, they spread urbanization, and we have Latin language. Then in the Middle Ages, we have some influence of later very well organized Italian letter. Then we have from the Habsburg era German language. Then we have from Hungary, from Budapest, we have Hungary language. And then in 19th century, it was a really big struggle for Croatian language as it is today. First time when we had the chance to, you know, speak publicly the Croatian language in Parliament was at the late 19th century. But it is logically because, you know, the highest population of Croatia back then in those countries were working on fields, and they were poor and they were educated. But the nobility is educated enough, and, you know, they learn the languages, which is not Croatian language till the 19th century. So when some Habsburg kings came here, they were actually, you know, some of them were good. For example, one woman, Maria Teresa, she brought equality in the civil organization. Actually, she was the first woman on the throne on the Habsburg dynasty, and she was one who wanted to change things, you know, to talk about more to rule for the people, not that people is her goal of ruling. So she was some kind of intellectual who changed things for the better. And of course, people are pretty much in equal terms happy, and they could, live much better than in the past. Something that is partially renovated, and from the 15th century it stays like this. You know, every time I go to this house, we usually have the same question, which one do you like? I adore, especially this windows, which represents the building in Porec. And also, you will see the painted walls on the facade, which is the original painted art from the family from the 15th century lines. Always, but I think there's so much space.
Similar like a book. So that you know what you can find there.
What is so Byzantine art from the East is mixed very well with Western Christianity. So I want to say if there is a place in Europe where you can, you know, combine East and West, this is probably the best thing, the best example to see. which is in original shape, not in a hole, but that part of history is century 80. But this complex is probably from the 4th century AD, and some of historians, historians are really, they quarrel a lot about this huge complex, because every time they dig something out, it reminds them that, okay, maybe we have to, change some kind of part of the stories. But anyway, this part of the baptistry is originally from the 4th century AD. Before, in Christianity, there is, some kind of traditional ritual sacraments that when you go to baptize some member of your family, you have to go inside the pool, like in a swimming pool. Today, people usually do not go inside. They usually are blessed with the holy water by monks, under the baptistry. And the baptistry is not so huge, but in the early stages of Christianity, this has a symbolic meaning, because
very busy due to the pets or cat. Yeah. So now we go to the toilet, because I didn't do it. And then we go outside, and then we
così. Si apre e si chiude la
No, it really been before the Second World War. It was obviously 1945, after the Second World War. So, you know, probably we didn't know the right age when they brought that around here. But I suppose it was, you know, some kind of a legal and legal process in this church. So let's go to see the masterworks of Bishop's Cathedral.
Can you imagine? This is really standing here. My bathroom is great. No, this one is standing still like that.
Different from the east.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Everything was,
Yeah. Now this is the whole story, and this picture is the whole story. But this story is one big cover. So I cannot tell you. I just wanted to tell you that he arrived here. It was everything. Such as he wanted to make this faith more, let's say, popular, but also
who holds the family, who holds the production, obviously. So probably they have some kind of economic reason. Always anyway, because the picture I think you and the presentation of this picture was always really working hard for ornaments. Not much to reach. Bring with yourselves everything what you need and leave everything what you don't need.
Croatia.
Od kiosk, no.
Actually buildings for people to live now, and they have to have a good quality stones from those caves which I mentioned you about, and to protect the houses from the sea salt. They have to actually, you know, renovate them every 2 or 3 years. One guy from Rivinj told me, and he said to me, "Oh, you think it's really lovely to live here?" Yes, it is when you visit me and when we drink a coffee. But I would like to ask you that question when the storms came here and when all the sea water has flooded his first flat of the house. So, but from this point of view, it's really beautiful.
Samo da mi kiša. Ali voda ima još
Good job.
Myślisz, że tylko trzeba... No, to nie, ale wiesz, to nie daje. Nie lubię. A wy dzisiaj macie koncert o 20 koło jakiego sklepu? Koło, wiesz, którego sklepu? Tego supermarketu, tam przy tym plac zabaw.
Wenn dann zwischen die Ziele so weit.
oder nicht?
Nađi.
To musisz wydać...
Zamyka w 3 minutach.
Nisi mogo! Eto, da nisi tako dobro što si, kad ja bi zvala. Onda bi ćemo evo, Daški otvoreno crte.
Tako je. Zajvancija, daj, sjedi.
Nobody does. For example.
Close eyes, and now wake up. Well, first of all, now 10 or 15 minutes more or less. I want to thank you for today's excursions. It was lovely to be with you. I hope we've done a well job. I'd like to say thank you to our chauffeur, Sergio. Thank you, Sergio, for driving us back to Opatija and for a lovely panoramic drive where you could actually see everything what the Istria held and what you could maybe some other time visit in Istria. Anyway, this special tour was really unique for me also because I like Istria. I like to guide Euphrasian basilics. I hope you get enough information about the historical buildings and everything, and of course I hope you enjoy your meal and traditional local food, which is so typical for that region of Croatia. Anyway, have a safe trip and enjoy in the rest of the Croatia, and I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope you will have enough time for your I would like to say some kind of amusement, some kind of a fun on your cruise, and have a safe trip to your countries. And I hope that you will bring a good, bright and really lovely memories from Croatia. Thank you. Just one short information. The bus driver will leave us in front of one hotel, and I'm going to go with you to a port which is close. You know, we have to enter one park which is so lovely in Opatija, beautiful park, and then we are going to go to tender and to get back you on your cruise. Thank you. Probably see your cruise and your tender from your left side, and I have to say just one thing: the weather was completely on our side, because you see before he sees our bus, okay, he saw us. The weather is just going to, I see for half an hour it's going to be rainy, so everything was just the way it's supposed to be.
It was good weather.
Yes, and it wasn't so warm. You
Exactly.
know, it was, you know, cold, pleasant warm.
That's a pretty church.
nema
ne viđe, da nije niko parkiran, sad idem ja auto. Danas je moj sretan dan.
Da. Sergio, bilo mi je drago
Da.
i svakako